thanks for coming back to our site. We're excited to see you today. Today, one of the things we're going to show you is step-by-step how to make this simple 10-knot plant hanger. And this will hold a really wide cot up to probably 10 or 12 inches, and I would say probably up to 30 pounds. So I'm going to go with you pretty slow, step-by-step, to show you just how simple this is to make. And it's a great little gift idea. One of the things that I love about macrame is there's so little that you need in the way of tools and supplies. You need a lighter. Obviously, you can use a little flick of your Bic lighter. I use this just because it has sentimental value to me, but we'll use that to finish off our products. You need a good pair of scissors. I use Gingers because they're good quality fabric scissors, but you could use anything like a Fisker. Just stay away from like a child's scissor. It won't be sharp enough to cut the macrame cord. Then, if you prefer, you can use these bobbins. You can find these in knitting stores. They kind of open up to hold your cord and allow you to work a little bit easier with long cords. We won't need that today, but that's a nice tool to have in your box. And then the last thing is this 1.5-inch ring. And this is what we're going to use to hang our plant from the hook on the ceiling. And of course, you need some macrame cord. Macrame cord comes in a multitude of colors, so you can really find something for any decor. So first thing we have to do is measure off 4 52-inch pieces of cord. And I actually have my counter marked because it's easier for me than using a yardstick every time since I do such a large volume. So I'm just going to go to my marks and measure once and twice. And if your cord is curly, you're going to want to make it nice and taut as you go. You don't want to waste any cord, but you definitely want to be making sure you have enough. Better too much than too little. So again, now I'm cutting my second cord. If you have multiple skeins, you can cut these, up to 4 at a time would be fine. And this is number 3. And you can see there's no time in this part of the craft at all. And last but not least, number 4. Whoops. That one wanted to fight. 1, 2. Get your pec muscles working at the same time here. Now I'm going to take my 4 cords, grab them all by their ends. Got one on the loose. And again, it doesn't have to be precise, just close. And I have a little bit of knots going here, so I'll get those out of the way because that will interfere with our happy project. Then I'm going to take our ring, and I want this to be in the center of the work. So I'm going to slide the ring on, and then I'm going to just grab the ends of both sets of cords. So I have 4 cords I started with. It's going to be 8 cords that I'm working with. Whoops. Okay, so there's our 8 cords. I'm going to make a knot in the top, a very simple knot. So this is what you do. Preferably have the ring in the hand that you are. If you're right-handed, the ring in the right. And you're just going to flip all the cords over and pull the ring through. Now you want it to be tight. You want to pull towards the ring, and then you want to take each cord and make sure it's as tight as it can possibly be. This will make sure that you just have a nice clean knot on top. So you can see when I'm done, it has sort of a front and a back. It really doesn't matter, but one side will look cleaner. So now I'm going to take this to my hook. This is a very fancy tool that you need. You can hang your picture on this after you're done so nobody knows what you're doing in your spare time. Now we're going to make the knots. We're going to make 4 knots at about 12 inches down, and then another 6 inches down. We're going to make another 4 knots. You want to make sure that you pull the cords that are closest to each other when you're doing this. So if you look up at the top, you'll see I have 2 side-by-side cords. I'm going to drop down about 12 inches. I'm going to flip the cords over my finger, just like a rabbit hole, pull them through, pull it nice and tight. Now I'm going to look for 2 more that are together. Take them down to the same level. Put my fingers there to make my knot. Again, these do not have to be exact because when the pot's in them, they're going to be spaced apart. So don't get yourself all worried about that. 2 more close together. Tie them around. And last are our 2 cords back here. Okay, that's our first set of knots, halfway done the project. Now, again, you want side by side when you're knotting always. Now this is going to create the web. So you see that I don't want to be tying these 2 cords together. I want to tie from opposite bundles. So I'm going to go down about 6 inches, and I'm going to tie 2 cords together. Now this is really important that you make sure you go to the next set or your thing will be twisted and you won't be able to get your plant in. So again, just pay a little bit of attention to what you're doing, but you really can watch Dr. Phil while you're doing this, or The Biggest Loser, or your favorite reality show. It's really not that hard once you get going. And the last set of cords, I'm going to match up I have 2 in the back. I'm going to flip those on. Then I'm going to go down about maybe 4 inches, 4 to 6 inches. I'm going to make my final knot. Again, it's the same as that top knot, just flipping all the cords over, pulling it nice and tight, pulling each cord individually. This adds to the strength of your finished project, and this is the part the pot sits in, so you want to make sure you have this nice and tight. Now, I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to trim it off. I like to leave 6 inches, but you can leave whatever you like. That's just aesthetically, I think, more appealing. This is a 36-inch hanger. Then I'm going to take my lighter and just quickly fuse the ends. You don't have to have a total meltdown here. Just a quick fuse. This just prevents it from raveling over time. So again, I'm just barely touching the end of the flame to the end of the macrame. And there you have it. Add your plant. It's a lovely gift. That's the basic design. We hope you'll come back to our site to learn some more complicated patterns and to really see some other ways that you can just modify this simple design. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back on the site.